Hi everyone, before the film starts I would like to make a request. This is a new channel, so I could really do with subscribers. The more subscribers I get, the more people will see this channel, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. Hi everyone, it's Mike. I need a haircut, by the way. I'll have to get my haircut. That's why I've been wearing caps on my other videos. Because I need a haircut, but all the hairdressers and barbershops are closed because of COVID-19. But today I want to speak about, I'm going to speak about narcissism and psychopathic leaders, narcissistic, and psychopathic leaders as I go on. But I want to talk today about the people who have had to shut their businesses down, like restaurants and loads of other businesses that have had to shut down, How are these people going to open up again? They're not going to have any money, I'm talking about self-employed people, because I used to run my own business, for 37 years, I think 35 years I ran my own business. I know what it's like running a business, having to keep books and pay tax. I know exactly what it's like. It's a nightmare. Yeah, I only ran a small business. I could have got bigger, but I never really wanted to get rich. I could have got bigger and done a lot better than what I did. But I was just happy the way that I was, But, I'm retired now. But, I feel sorry for these people because I know what they're going through. I just thank God I retired before this COVID virus came onto the scene. I took early retirement about 3 years ago. And I'm just glad that I did, because these people are in a dreadful mess. You've got restaurateurs. I was talking to a restaurateur there the other day. He doesn't know what he's going to do. I felt really sorry for him. And not all these people are rich. They need to keep their businesses going. They need to keep, working to make their businesses successful, and they've just shut down. Everywhere's shut down except for the supermarkets and the wagon drivers and people like that. They're still open, and that really bothers me. The supermarkets, because the way that the TV's going on about this COVID-19, the way the government's going on about it, and especially the BBC, these dreadful journalists on the BBC, they don't seem to be saying much about these poor people who are working in supermarkets. If you go in there, hardly any of them have got masks on or visors or protective clothing, and they're working in these supermarkets. I suppose it would be impossible for them to wear it anyway, because it's a pretty physical job. You've got to be pretty strong, loading shelves and taking boxes down, taking stuff out of boxes and putting them on shelves. I don't think that it would be possible to wear heavy protective clothing. Well, at least they should have a mask on. And I'm talking about decent masks now, not cheap masks or masks that you can't breathe properly in. I'm talking about proper masks that you can breathe in, and that you're able to change every 3 or 4 or 6 hours. Not a mask that you wear. I'm going out shopping now. I'm wearing, it's a decent mask, but I'm wearing it all the time. Because there is no other masks on the market, so the ones that you can buy are crap. The ones that you can buy. Because for some reason, our government doesn't want us to wear masks, for some reason. Even though they keep saying, look, if you wear a mask, you won't give anyone sort of, you've got less chance of giving someone the coronavirus. But if you're not wearing a mask, or if somebody who is not wearing a mask has got coronavirus, even if you're wearing a mask, you could catch it. Does that make any sense? Well, if they were wearing a mask, then if everyone wore a mask, then they wouldn't be able to give it to you, would they? If by wearing a mask, it lessens the chance of you passing it on to someone. It's absolutely insane. And again, I heard John Waters say this the other day on Gemma O'Doherty's channel, the normalising of that, which isn't normal. The things that aren't real. They're trying to project upon us unreality as being reality, and this is what we get all the time. And I'm really, concerned about these people who've had to shut their businesses down. What's going to happen? Or are we living in an illusion? Are we living in an illusion? Could the banks just say, well, right, these people who've had to close down, we don't want any more money off them now. and and could, the government said they're going to pay these people, well, it's the self-employed people that worry me the most. A lot of people who are working for people, they're going to get 80% of their salaries, but what are the government going to do to get this money back when this coronavirus is over, which I don't think it ever will be? They'll use this to silence us. They'll use this to stop demonstrations. They'll use this to stop people from meetings, so that they can more easily silence the people, keep them quiet and take away their freedom of speech. And that's what they'll do. That's what the governments are doing. That's what the state machine will do, which is run by psychopaths and narcissists. MI6 and MI5, they're run by narcissists and psychopaths, very clever narcissists and psychopaths, And this is the situation we're going to be living in. And it's very, very worrying, It really is very worrying. But if you think about it, is it possible for the government, the banks and everyone to say, well, that's it. Nobody's been charged any rent, nobody's had this and nobody's had that because of the COVID virus, so we're not going to chase anybody for money that's owed, That'd be great, and that will prove to you that we can do these things, that we're living in a world that's comprised of unreality that isn't real, and the people who are imposing this unreal situation and situations upon us are narcissists and psychopaths, ruthless people, indifferent people, have no empathy with anyone. And again, it's just reiteration. I've said this on other videos, but my hearts go out to these people, who are in financial difficulties. Let's just hope that it gets sorted out for them. But these are clever people, They're not stupid. They're clever people. And I'm talking about self-employed people. They can always sort of, they're survivors, But I really feel sorry for them, because I was a self-employed small businessman myself, for many years. And anyway, once again, I'd like to thank all these people that speak out. These people like Gemma O'Doherty and John Waters and Paul Rimmer and Paul Golding and lots of other people, and Anne-Marie Waters and loads of other people. I would really like to thank them. I mean, there's so many of them, I couldn't even mention them, for what they're doing, because they're the ones, who are altering things for the better in this world. Remember, there's 2,215 billionaires on this planet, but there is 7.8 billion, probably less, but I don't know where to get that figure from. I think it's right. It's either 7 to 7.8 billion people on the planet being ruled by these billionaires. And not all of these billionaires are ruling us, About 100 of them out of these 2,215, and about 20 of them or 30 of them at the top, like George Soros and people like that, are the ones who are heavily involved in, into globalization of the world and a one world order, into globalism. You've got people like Bill Gates who want to invent this vaccine. Sorry, if you won't take this vaccine, you'll be against. It'll be against the law. You'll be going against the law of the land. That really bothers me, because then it's sinister. They're up to something else, and it's all money making by these billionaires. They're into making money under the guise of philanthropy, being philanthropists, and they're not really, because if you check them out and you look them up, it's all there on YouTube now. And I'll end with this, there's no excuse now, no excuse. You can't believe anything that's written in the national media, in the newspapers. You can't believe anything on the TV news channels, especially the BBC and Channel 4 and Granada News and Sky News. You can't believe any of them. They're all telling lies. All of them. It's really frightening, isn't it? They're all telling lies, and if you do believe them, how fool are you? If you do believe them, you're a fool if you believe them. I'm not saying everything they put out is lies, but a lot of the stuff they put out, especially political stuff, is lies. And it's incredible. They use every single situation they can to indoctrinate us and to pacify us. And like I've said before, and I'll say it all the time in all my videos, our children are being indoctrinated in school. They're not being taught to engage in critical dialogue and to debate and to understand reality. They're being taught to adapt to a world which is being imposed upon them by these psychopathic billionaires and these people in government that sit on, like in our government, the cabinet. They're being, indoctrinated. And this is absolutely incredible. It's frightening, but it's the truth. We are being ruled by narcissists and psychopaths. Anyway, thanks. Hope I haven't depressed you.